would like to apologise to the Barclay family. I do not know if they're from Adler, but what I do know is Wentworth is in Adler. Actually, it's 2 to 3 minutes. No, I would say 50 seconds from Adler to the Dales, from the Dales back to Adler. It's the same sort of vicinity. Mercury Road, etc. leads off to Adler. It takes you to Curtin. So I've just been in a taxi there. I had to go up my martazepine, and I was speaking to the taxi guy, and it turns out that God rest his soul, the taxi guy was called Bruce Barclay. So the taxi guy was actually Bruce's friend. Um, Tori's granddad won't reveal his name, but it's Mr. Barclay, and he stays just say Dunfield, Curtin, whatever, close to Adler, 2 minute drive, 5 minute walk tops, not even that. So you heard her in the background crying because the taxi guy had told her yesterday went out and got the box of shopping, and he went, but he went, Bobby, I'm sorry to break the news to your missus, blah blah blah. So she's been up all night and that, still thinking it was her granddad, but because her daughters not haven't been to the door or phoned, it was a bit strange. So I got in a taxi there and I was telling the taxi guy, and the taxi guy says to me, it was Bruce Barclay. He was filmed in Adler on Monday. So I've just googled it there, and it does come up, taxi driver found dead in his car in Adler, Wentworth, which is where I'm from. Not Wentworth, Tunbury Avenue, but it's the same village. And he was found due to, I don't know, it's not my place to say, but all I'm saying is I would like to apologise, a public statement, video, i.e. whatever you would like to call this, and send my condolences, me and Toria, to the other Barclays. Maybe they're connected in some way, don't know, done the Herons and Lane, I don't know, but I would just like to apologise for the statement that, well, it wasn't really a statement. You had Toria crying in the background. The taxi man says, I was a Barclay from dead in his taxi in Adler. Well, Tori's granddad, as we just stated at the start before he's joined in, Adler and the Dales is the same place, but just called different places. It just rode off each other. So we'd like to apologise to the Barclay family. Bruce, I googled you, mate. Sorry to you and your family, etc., etc. Tori, whenever I googled it last night, we should have, but there was too much things going on. As I was stating, up until that video, that live, when she got up the taxi, and so I just switched the phone off and would just try to watch Netflix. And that's me just finding out just 5 minutes ago, literally, that it was Bruce. And I got in and had the Dutch courage to Google it, and it came up that he sadly suddenly just passed away in his private car, i.e. car, taxi, whatever it may be. So I would just like to apologise for putting false, which was not our false information. If you Google it, it does come up. Bruce Barclay, found in Adler, where I'm from, Adler Village, Wentworth, Crescent Avenue, whatever. The Dales is literally, as I keep saying, 2 minutes apart, and that's where her granddad, I stays. I won't say his name, Mr. Jai Barclay. So I'm sorry to the Bruce Barclay's family. I don't know if it's Victoria's granddad's cousin, whatever it may be, the bloodline, but it's a very unusual name, and under the circumstances, it was Tati, somebody like Tori's granddad. I mean, you're talking about from here to the other side of the road, splits these two places, the Dales, Dunfield and Adler. So Bruce was sadly found in his taxi, or i.e. whatever it may be, his private car, due to reasons that I cannot explain because it's not my family member. So we'd just like to put this out here and keep repeating myself over and over again, because as you heard on the live, Tori was in tears, she's in tears now. I think it was a shock to the system. When I went out, it ended the live, but what you did not know was I went out with the taxi guy, don't know who he knew is. He says my first name, And he went, I'm sorry for breaking the news to the fiance. Um, and before that, she was actually in Liddell. I says Asda. The reason I says that was because she got followed the night before, and it's a bit seedy. She was in Liddell, and a few girls went, you bought, she heard, that's Bobby Cale's missus, and she was turned around and went, what is it? And they went, your man's a liar, or something, and did their phones in their hand. So I'm taking it, they were watching, i.e. my live, our channel live, and me saying, she's at Asda. The reason I do these kind of things and tell the wee white lie, don't think it's a lie, is because when your missus and yourself and family, your mother is getting stalked, um, you cannot say my missus has went to Tesco, and the truth to be told, she is at Tesco, especially my previous and threats to life. So the reason I say she was at Asda was to put traffic to Asda rather than Lidl. So she was in Lidl, and these muppets who did not declare their names turned around and says to her, your man is a liar. Now I would like these people to come forward and give me the right names, because I want to know what they were on about in terms of I'm a liar, because I'll tell you something on them streets that made me and I made myself, and I'm a very proud man who I am today. I've still got 20-30%, well 40% of things I need to sort in my own head and in my own life and my own relationship and my family problems, and God will sort that out. But I would like to repeat one more time before I end this that it was a mistake from the taxi driver last night telling Victoria that her granddad was found dead in his taxi. Now, it ain't a coincidence, because it's like somebody saying to me in a taxi, Jim Kyle, that was my granddad's name, was found on his motorbike because he was in the Saints, he was dead, and it was a Kyle, and he was on his motorbike. I would automatically think, whoa, what the fuck, especially in Adler, and he stayed in Adler. Victoria's granddad, as if I'll repeat and say again, stays, we'll just say Kirtondale's Dunfield for his own privacy, and that's just that. So, sorry to the Bartley family and Bruce, to your daughters, sons, your grandkids and whatnot. I'm apologising, mate, and being a man, even though it wasn't our fault, it wasn't the taxi guy's fault. In fact, it was no one's fault, and these things happen. She did not just come in the house screaming and crying, and still crying now, due to the fact of going off, just people on the street talking garbage. This was an official taxi driver that I know well that taxi drivers all know each other, i.e. the taxi that I just got there, I even know the taxi drivers. Obviously Dundee's a small place, and we're getting a lot of taxis. Well did. So the taxi guy just told us there the full story, and it was his mate, even though he did mention Victoria's granddad, and he did say that it was his sort of mate, associate mate, because taxi guys are all mates, they're all in the same circle. So he knows Victoria's granddad, and he says it was not Mr. Jai Barclay, it was Bruce. So I was like, are you joking me? My missus has been up all night wondering why her daughter hasn't phoned, been at the door, blah blah blah. So if you Google it, I'm sorry to the family. You send our condolences. I'm sorry to bring your family into this. It was a misunderstanding. And Tori was going to do this herself, but she's not in the fit state, and I'm not letting her fiance come on camera, going through emotions, which is she's achieving greatness, and you might bond that. Even though it wasn't a bond that, it was a taxi guy telling her Mr. Bartley was from dead in Adler. So I would just like to end it on that and just say RIP to the other Bartley side of the family. They may be connected online, I don't know, we don't know, but God bless and I'm sorry for putting incorrect information out there, and we send our love to that family. Um, thank the Lord that the taxi guy just told us the full story. He's actually friends with the two Barclays, but Mr. Jai, Victoria's granddad, he says he knows him, he's fighting well, he's fit, he's healthy, and he's good. So that's great. But the other bit of bad news is that the man suddenly passed away, Mr. Bruce Barclay. So it was a total effort, not on any fault of my own or Victoria's own, or even the taxi driver's fault, i.e., the taxi guy from yesterday that told her this information. You heard how emotional she was in the background. I had to bounce off that live immediately. I've just been, and as I say, I'll repeat, I've just been in the taxi there. He was good friends with Bruce Barclay, the guy who got filmed in Adler. Now my mum's 2 minutes he Wentworth, and I've told my mum this on the phone that Victoria had lost her granddad when the news had just broke. And my mum went, wonder why that wasn't on the news. My mum stays 2 minutes from that place. So we googled it, never had the heart to Google it last night, because when you get told something like that, it's a very rare sickening name, especially in Adler when basically it's all the one place. And you're thinking to yourself, taxi driver, same second name, same area, same age roughly, it's got to be. Well, it happens, it turns out, as I've said, there's more joining the chat. I'm sorry to the Barclay side of the family once again. Keep your heads up, we prayed for you, we've just done a prayer, you'll be in our prayers, and if anybody's shook by this information on the side of Bruce Barclay, I'm very sorry. What should actually be happening nowadays, as the guy just told us in the taxi, is confidential stuff should be kept confidential. Now taxi guys like every a wee yab and a wee blather and a wee bit of gossip and that, they're always asking you what's happening here and what happened to the man down in Alton that got this and the man that got murdered, and they think they're the STV News, some of them. Now I've got great mates on the taxis, i.e. Victoria's granddad, family member on the taxi, Victoria's granddad. So yes, repeat one more time, it was the wrong family, misguided information, new policies should be brought in my opinion, and the taxi guy that was Mr. Bruce Barclay's mate had just says to me there, taxi drivers should not even be mentioning any sort of kind of serious stuff like that. Even just say it was her granddad. At the time we thought it was. Fits the description to a T. Taxi drivers, it's okay to have a bit of banter about football and the UFC and boxing and how's your day been, the weather, but when it gets to deep stuff like that, even when I went up, the taxi guy looked shook. He went, I'm sorry Bobby, and I'm like, how's you know my name? Anyway, I was more concerned about the missus. You heard how much she was at, she's an emotional wreck. Never mind me that, I'm on about leading up the story I was getting to, about Tesco and about the police getting involved and with the stalking campaign. So yeah, that's all I would like to say on that note, and on that topic and on that subject. There's a good amount in the chat, so what I'm going to do, I'll stay until the 20-minute mark, then I'm off, because I've got a 21-day programme that me and Victoria have started, and I'll keep that private. So we're going to stick to this 21-day programme. Basically, 21 days breaks a habit and recreates a habit. So example, just say you're slacking at the gym and that, and you're going to the bookies and gambling and stuff like that, right? And it's on a daily occurrence, which I was a bad gambler, that runs in the family, right? So I got myself banned from most of the bookies, like my father, they banned him for betting too much. But anyway, so but mine was violence, just smashing machines with my hand and losing a lot of money. But anyway, yes, that should be the case in every scenario. So we all that going on, I was misguided information with the taxi guy, but it's not his fault. But taxi guys should be more careful in what topics are going down and what avenues, because It's after Heather, to be honest with you. She misses her granddad very dearly, as I always say. I hope they've not came across that live, because they'll be thinking, wow, wait a minute, I'm still alive and kicking. But at the time, we did not know. So I want to be a man. I've came on camera. Tori was going to do it herself, but at the moment it ain't letting her. So as we've seen, the 21-day regime, the regiment we're in is to break a habit, to recreate a habit. So what I mean by that is the 2020 charges that I've just got punished for 4 years ago, I've not committed any offences. From that, well, a few, but I've changed dramatically. I'm a born again Christian. I will be out, I'm married, etc. But I'll be taking time off YouTube a good bit, 21 days, to do what we need to do. And this is to reset, to regain, and to come back stronger. And that's just that. So if anybody's in the rut at the moment, all you need to do is start a 21-day program, whatever you're stuck, whatever rut you're stuck in. But the 21-day program, 21 days it takes to get out of a cycle to regain a better cycle, if that makes sense. So 21 days, just say you're sitting in the house 24/7 for 21 days. Well, start your 21 days today or tomorrow and get up at 8, if you're sleeping until 11 o'clock in the morning, get up at 8 o'clock and start tomorrow. Mark it on a calendar, in 21 days your mind and your brain will work totally different. It's called 21-day resystem, resetting your brain to reprogram what you're wanting to achieve and to get all the negativity away out your mindset. So that's what we are doing. Not that I've lapsed or anything's happened, but it's just what's been going on. So the 21-day program has started. It started this morning. So we're going to do it. We're going to 100% do it. I mean, I've been off drugs coming up for a year, be that one lapse, that one day, that one night, and that was that. So yeah, we're in the 21 day stage program, and that's a fact. So try it yourselves. Even evil comments, what's happening, mate? How you doing, Bobby boy? Back to you, bro. How's your day been, mate? Me and Tori saying we'd love to meet your family, mate, as well. Also, yes. So try it, give it a try, and listen to a lot of motivational stuff. Tori's actually got let me see that. Give 2 seconds to show that public. It's called The Light Inside. So Tori's on that page here, which is a great reader. I'm hopeless at reading and writing and that. I could write, but I'm not. So basically that there, So Tori's on. Where do you learn this kind of stuff from? I ain't even looking at negative comments. I ain't looking at negative comments. I do not know what's happened to the comment section, but let me tell the prop, there is facial stuff that you could put your faces on bodies that I could go and make a video about Joe Blogs and say he's this, she's done that, he's done that, he's back on the drugs, he's back gambling, and hashtag blah 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 and clickbait and tell, like what they've done with my mother, a pure horrible storyline, saying that I'm gifting mum drugs and vice versa. My mum is drug free. Now the problem with what here is, people have stopped watching YouTube because crap like that, very negative. You do not put stuff up like that about people's loved ones unless you've got certainty, proof, and even at that, that's no one's business. But I could sit here as a man of God, I'm looking for this camera, I know my family and loved ones watch my stuff and my adult boys, and they will confess that My mum should have walked away from me years ago. Now, I had a couple of mates, Tori was there, and they went, bro, listen, you're looking a lot, this was when I was getting clean, you're looking a lot better. But we often sit in the pub and that and say, wonder why Bobby's mum stuck by him through all this. Because all my mates that went down the slippery road like myself, their mum shut the door. Never got one chance, two chance, three, never mind my mum being a rock that's never moved. Rock solid, right? Back to back with your son. Is it because I'm our only son, only child? Maybe. But I've got a lot to be gifting my mum back, a lot of love that I've never gave her back. I've been selfish when I've been intoxicated back in the days, doing all that jail time, coming up twice a week visits, sending money up that she did not have, borrowing to get me the best of stuff growing up. My gran, my auntie, so I would like to grant back a bit to my family and take a bit of time off to reset my brain, the 21-day programme, and Tori's certainly doing the same, and it involves no drinking. We were often having a bottle of a Bailey coffee and that, but all that kind of stuff, no. And it was on a nightly basis, by the way, guys. And I'll keep chatting because there's a good amount in the chat and it's a good topic here. We ain't talking about other YouTubers here. We ain't talking about anything else apart from what's stated at the start of the video. Yes. So, the condolences. God is great. We have prayed for that family. So, on any slippery roads, it ain't mentioned in the past. Whatever's happened to me and Tori and Joe Blogs and that has happened. You cannot change the past. And it's taken me months and months to get this drilled into my brain and still it was not working. But through the psychiatrist, etc., and speaking to a good few officials on the phone, nurses, doctors, etc., the 21-day programme, I will be a new man. I will reset, regain, and come back stronger. Now, I remember once upon a time, somebody that I looked up to, and I still do, called Kenny Rata in the back of Forgotten Bruno's book, once says, you can be a great motivational speaker. My missus says, you speak in a proper, positive way that you can get your message across. And going back to my message, which is hashtag positivity for life, that's how most of my logos were out there, and you get jealous people that have ripped them off lampposts, but they're still in the lodges, the hotels and that, McDonald's and that, Countdown, the zoos and that. So the main places I'm happy with, and I'm going to consistently keep on this path. Once the 21-day programme is finished, our brains will be reset. You should try it yourselves, but I'm not here to preach. I am here to give just our thoughts to the family why I've titled this live. It was wrong information, and we send our condolences to that family, i.e. it might be Tori's granddad's cousins, brothers, whatever it may be, but you could not write something like that because where it took place, etc. But getting back to that, I hope your days are great, your days are going good, and I need to reset because me and Tori and family and my mother, i.e. Tori's mother-in-law, are very, very close. Now I have never had one partner that I have let close to my mum. I've tried to, but they have not engaged back with my mum, and my mum is a very crafty individual, which she witnessed with me. So my mum knows a good one when she sees one and a bad one when she sees one. And she's noticed the full potential of Victoria, and she has noticed what she has done for her only son. So that could only be thanks to the both of them for putting 100% into their relationship, i.e. my mother calls her daughter. And the ironic thing is, guys, when my mum was with my dad, and my dad split up with my mum, he'll admit it to this day, my mum was a stunner back in the day, she still is, But in her youth, my mum was like a movie star. Now there's an old video footage of our family, and I want to show Tori, when I get my hands on it. It's in the family somewhere. And my mum looks like she is a celebrity movie star. Now there's that so much in common with Tori and my mother. So much. My mum has sat down and listened to Tori, vice versa, and they have got so much in common. Um, and my dad was being a player by my mum's back. Um, got caught cheating, um, and my mum ditched him. Now, he admits to this day it was the worst thing of his life. Now, he will never get my mum back. My mum would never take him back. Um, and these things happen. Once he split up, my mum still went to my gran's, who passed away, my granny, Elma, on my side, my dad's side. And my mum still, to this day, calls my granny Elma mum, even though she's passed away. And the same thing is continuing with Victoria and my mum, which is crazy. It's like they're so alike. It's like my mum used to go and see my gran and call her mum. My dad was seeing a new woman at the time, my brother's mum. My brothers have all got the same mum. My dad had five kids to the woman, and me to my mum, only child, with my mum. And my dad used to know what days my mum would go and see my granny, i.e., which would have been my mum's mother-in-law. But my mum says she was the nicest person on this planet. Now, I remember my gran vaguely. She died in 1997, 98, so I was 7, 8 year old. I remember her vaguely, but I cannot remember the way I could remember my granny, McCann, who was my superhero. I had women surrounded by me all my days. When my dad was doing what he was doing, my granddad was in the setting slaves, whatever. I was grounded and surrounded by three precious women in my life: my granny, i.e. second mum, my mother, and my auntie, who actually was my granny's sister, which would have made my mum's auntie, but as me growing up here, my mum saying auntie, just say what, auntie, whatever, I'm not saying her name, I started calling her auntie, and she took a right shine to me. Out of every grandkid my gran had, I was my gran's favourite, I was my auntie's favourite, and the reason being, they have never admitted this, but I know that they saw my mum struggling, my mum being young, and if it wasn't for women in my life at a young age, I probably would be dead or locked up for life. But thank the Lord I had three precious women. That's the reason I believe I have never had a woman in my life. I've got hard men, but every one of them ended up becoming domestic abusers. And still to this day, I have never had a lady. I have been punished with ladies. I've had my fingers broken, doors, etc., etc. Coffee for back. The only thing I've done is restrain, which means gripping them from behind until they stop their tantrums, and that's a known fact. Not one previous conviction for domestic abuse, and I don't, just resign. Tell you kind of people that are struggling to surround yourself with your women and your family, and they do. Scientifically, women give birth, men don't. Men do the easy work, women do the hard work. Be bulletproof in the mind. The point I'm making is what I've just explained. Surround yourself with your grandmother, your aunties, whatever it may be, your hierarchy people in your family, OEPs in your family, in their 60s, because they've been around the block handsome. And the only person really I used to listen to was my granddad, because I was afraid of him. um, when I was young. Not, he was not a bully or nothing, but he was in the Saint Slaves and he was a right hard man and he was a family man. That was not my granny's, my grandmother's man. That was on the other side. And it was Rosa. And going back to women make men, you give birth to men, and you've got to show honour, respect to women, all kinds of women, because you give birth to us. Now, these three women in my life are the only women that I care about. I'm about women, not kids and stepkids to be and kids that I've lost and whatever. So that's where I'm going with this. Always yourself with your grandmother, your great auntie, and you will be the best version of yourself. I was always the best version of myself around these kind of ladies because I respected them. I never back-chatted them, but I back-chatted my dad, I back-chatted my uncles. Yes, I got the odd bump, but I took it and I used to thrive on it, and it's almost daft. But the minute it came to my my auntie, my mum, I never ever back-chatted them once. Back in my younger days. Especially my gran and my auntie, I would never disrespect my auntie and I would never disrespect my grandmother. And that's a fact. People from my area watching this will know what I'm talking about. She was my queen and will always be my queen. Block that little supper. Little supper. That's what your mum's got. So that tells me that is an evil individual. That tells me who that is, and then I'll find out. So if I've got that, you must have it. Have you got my drift? Because you're an ex. Or even better, it must run in the family, so you must have it if you got my drift. You done what you done. But anyway, negativity, David, thank you, my man. Little dingbats. But anyway, hit me with what you want. It'd probably be me your bird, so you probably got it, and that's a fact. Probably be me your mum, that's a fact. Probably be me your sister, that is a fact. Probably be me your whole family, that's a fact. Probably be me your mates' birds, that's a fact. So if I've got that, you've got that. So, listen, never put a cancer patient down, never put somebody with any diseases down. That is what you call evil. Now, you need to go and do the 21-day program, you sick, evil individual. Now, the only thing you tip me is things like that. But you want to talk and walk and dress like me. You want a bird like me. You want a fiance like me. Now, listen, you've got my sloppy seconds. Take them. Take every one of them. Remember, every time the OG here got the nicest birds, you've got his sloppy seconds. So, whatever words you're hitting me with about whatever, you must have that also. But I'll pray for you, my man, top man. I do not understand why people watch me. There's 80% of love and 20% of negativity. And the 20% negativity ain't no people on YouTube. That is a fact. The reason I know this is because I know by the names. Remember, I've been on the scene on TikTok, went viral, America and that. Hence the reason why I was mentioned on UFC. On the main event, and the Anthony Pettis fight. So I've got an all bad audience across in America, not being big headed, you all know, and Ireland, everywhere. So I'm doing something right. Remember, I buy my Amazon Prime documentary when Christian gets back in touch. As you are well aware, it was no fabrication. You saw the promo of it. You saw me be Christian and stuff. But anyway, so that documentary, we'll get back to that later on. There's more important things in life. I'm only 34 years of age. A certain person gave me a bit of information and said, why are you want to sell your stories to newspapers, etc., etc., books, you're only and it was 32 at the time, when you're only in your prime. And I thought, because people are coming to me, offering me good offers, and I never took 1 pence from any journalist in the local newspaper, I gave my story for free. Um, that's what a good man does. I've never took 1 pence off anybody on YouTube, not one iota. Um, so, as I'm getting back to that, these people with the negative comments will not put their real names to that. No, no chance. Hell no. Comments. It does not affect me in the slightest. Does not affect me. And that's just that. You must be living on a set of floorboards. You must be living with no food in your cupboards. But listen, see if you even asked me on the screen to send you £20, I would do it like that. Legit, non-legit. If you needed electricity and you were legit, I would go give me your bank details. Wouldn't we, Tory? Because we help people. But see people like that, them kind of scum of the earth, that write things like that. That's the people that feel so insecure about their souls, and they want to. I was about to read that message about. They must feel so insecure. And sorry guys, I mean I'm living in it, I'm leaving in 11 minutes, I've got things to do. Things I know it's and whatever. I don't make money out of it. I could be making a hell load of money out of it. But I'm not here for money. I'm here to spread my message, but I'm getting back to it. And a lot of people are on board with it. I.e., I've got to go and see the man in a certain place that's maybe jumping on board. And I could have got what I wanted from his shop, but I says to him, mate, I'll just give you shout outs, etc., etc. I don't take nothing. The hairdressers, the sunbeds, I only took a free haircut, a free sunbed, and that was it. They were offering us healthy dough. Every sponsor was. I never took any dough. The only thing we would say to them was free health, and I was on them. Free health bars every day, free sunbed every day, and a free haircut. That's just faded sponsors that you know that I'd and still have that will be back on board in my local area and beyond. So I've got to go and see this guy today, which big shout out, Scott. I've been to see you today, mate. You know my details and that down and whatever. I've been coming your shop for years. However, we need to sort out this StreamYard, etc., etc., because doing these lives on my own without Tory ain't for me, to be honest with you. They ain't for me. I need to get StreamYard up and running, which I've got too much things to be doing to be getting this sorted. So, but once it's sorted, that's the way we will be going. StreamYard. And it will be just the loyal ones who have noticed in the comment section, and my Adler boys, Dundee boys, telling their stories, and people from beyond, but only people that I trust. And my gut instinct tells me they're good people. Now, I know for a fact, I could categorically swear on my mother's life, that these people that leave the door to the comments in these lives, I know who they are. That is a fact. I know who they are. You give it away by their spelling, by their incorrection spelling, by their commas, by their whatever it may be. I know, and they know what kind of words hurt me, or used to hurt me. But the saddest thing about it is, they lost a family member. Well, they're not even family anymore, but once upon a time they were family, and they lost a family member via a certain thing. Um, and that's how deluded they are. then they call other people junkies. But yeah, their dad died with chemical substances and was on heroin. Um, and their mums and aunties and that were alcoholics. But they're coming at me with junkie. Listen, it has to be something better. Um, the terminology of junkie, you don't. It came from junk, the end of it, junk, sort of abuse. Your family, I'm on about drug abuse, alcohol abuse, substance abuse, tried being an addict, got diseases, which thank the Lord, I've never even had a sexual transmitted disease in my life. So it's all good. Um, but these negative people like PC Blood, and not all, but I know at all when it comes to this kind of grind. There seems to be these kind of people on the phones and being asked to make fake beefs with people, and being asked to do fake this with people, and being asked to go to people's houses that I looked up to get when it was clean to go to meetings and they pulled out icebergs. Um, I had people scrolling at their graphs and that when I went on the road training with people that I looked up to. A lot of people I've trained in Britain, me, as you know, K1 fighters, world champions, European champions, etc., etc. Um, so it is what it is, and that'll be what it'll be. Yeah, so um, that's just that. I'm going to bounce and catch you soon, but I will not be back on here for maybe even longer. But what we'll do, I'll be making content in terms of interviewing people in the streets about their problems, etc., etc. Um, and once the stream has it coming in, we'll get the points of view across. But see, when I do a live on my own, or Victoria, and you get all these derogatory comments, we know who it is. So people, if you are new to YouTube and watching lives, do not think this is only aimed at us, i.e. me. This is aimed at even, if you check, example, Chris Eubank Senior's interviews, I'm not complete, but what I'm saying is, look at the comment sections. People are tapped in the head. Um, this is a legend we're on about Chris Eubank Senior. Somebody that put, now you cannot be calling people crackheads who've just lost their sons, i.e. Eubank Senior. This is just a wee example. So if you're new to YouTube and you're seeing derogatory comments, that's people who have a grudge with me, against me, or against my fiance, fact, or just some little jealous virgin sitting in the room. No one's came even close to doing anything. No one will be doing anything with God. I'm shared with God's armour, which is pretty powerful. So none could help me, none will help my missus. So take care. And as I say, if you're on YouTube, you have to be built strong and physically and mentally, because a wee comment could put somebody over the edge where I know where it's coming from and they know that I know. They make it so obvious. But anyway, enjoy your day and we'll see you maybe in a couple of months, a couple of weeks. You never know. But take care, and once again, RIP to Bruce Bartley's family. Take care. Sorry for the inconvenience. God bless.